Hi everyone, welcome to Crowdfunding Countdown. We're going to take a look at every single board game campaign, finishing up in the next week. As always, shout out to my incredible patience? No, they're testing my patience, my incredible patrons, and anybody who has happened to sign up for Patreon over the last couple weeks. I'm filming this a little bit in advance because I have a couple big weeks of shows and rehearsals to happen. Robin Hood, the musical that I'm doing in Halifax, Nova Scotia at Shakespeare by the Sea, if you want to come see it in the park, that opened on July 5th, and then we're gearing up to also open another show July 25th, while I'm also doing a bunch of stuff. So I'm trying to get ahead on videos, and yes, so I might miss a couple. If there's anything that launches within this time and then also finishes in this time, drop them in the comments because I'll be sure to cover them. Also, you can tell that I've been filming in different time periods, but I want to give a huge shout out, as always, to my newest patrons, Culture Vulture and Pie Man. Thank you so much for jumping on board and supporting the channel. You're both the friggin' best. I'm very honored and always consistently honored that people are able to contribute to me doing as much of this as I can and contribute to the life of the channel. And it's a one-man shop over here, and I'm doing my best to do as much as I can. So having people support on Patreon and allows me to spend more time on this and less time on other things, like my personal life. So thanks, Culture Vulture and Pie Man, as I can. And I'll also cover things that have expired. This is Inktentions. I have no idea what this game is, but I saw it as I was scrolling through, and I was like, oh, that must have popped up when I was doing the other one, and I missed it. It was funded. There will probably be a late pledge. So let's check it out and let's see what's going on. This is Inktentions card game, rival octopuses. I like the art. Compete in a game of cunning and camouflage for 2 to 4 players. So let's check it out. That's not so bad. Do you want to be the most serious cephalopod for 20 bucks? Also feels pretty reasonable. I like the art as well. There's going to be a number of cards that are up that you can hunt for. You're going to put cards down and they all counteract each other. Rock, paper, scissors style, you're going to hunt. But if you're hunting, the sharks can eat you. And so, but if you're inking, then you ink the sharks and the sharks, and you cancel them all out. I do like that you're building out the arms. That's kind of fun. But you're all bluffing and saying like, oh, I put this thing down, I put this thing down, programming what's going to happen, anticipating what your opponents put down, and then flipping over and revealing the hunts or the punts. I think this is cute. I think it's definitely cute. 38. No, I don't want that. I wanted the one that was 20. Print and play digital files is $5, and the Inktentions base game is 20 bucks, 28 Canadian, and then shipping to Canada is 12. To the US, it's 14. I like to see that. UK 10. There's some potential there if you like the idea. I feel like some bluffing is okay in a game when you're putting down everything first and then you reveal. Maybe you don't get the haptic feedback or the learning curve that happens. I don't know. That would be my only sort of mechanical concern off the get, but you just play multiple rounds and then you can out bluff each other, etc. Be fun if you had to flip over things as the game was going on. Maybe you do you? Rulebook, try the rulebook now. Yeah, there's multiple rounds. Resolve each arm pile one at a time, flip and resolve each arm pile and award food tiles. Yeah, you take back your 8 cards, keep your food tiles, etc. Play until the food pile runs out. So it's going to be pretty quick, at least, but you do have to wait until everything is finished. Yeah. Oh, you can get a cute plushie as well. So if you're interested, that's likely in late pledges that finished Monday, June 30th. So a long crowdfunding countdown ago. But here we are. Okay, we're going to move on to this one, which is Red Dog Junction. 941 backers. I thought it said 94. And I was going to say, well, that's wrong. Fortune awaits in the far reaches of space if you dare take it. This is from Waterworks Games. So don't cry. Right. I remember Alpenglow. That seemed all right. I'm very charmed by that creator. Didn't really get much of the game, but, you know, I'm charmed by his enthusiasm. The game plays in about 15 to 20 minutes per player, supports 2 to 5 players, offers a mix of worker placement, tableau building, pick up and deliver, and market manipulation. Don't tell Wall Street! Yucky! That was my brain being like, say something funny here. And that's what came out. It's not just Pat who's good at improv, it's me as well. Innovative Trading Post gives you access to all resources, including whiskey and gold, and is controlled by dice-driven exchange rates you can manipulate. That's fun. I like that as a concept. I'd be interested to read a little bit more about that. Hone your action economy by building a crew that supports your needs. They're doing that thing where it's more expensive than the Pledge Manager, which I never really like, but, you know, it's fine. Standard Edition 59, Limited Edition 84, All-In Edition 104. just play mats and extra ships and stuff like that. How to play. Each turn, players take 2 actions, moving their ships between bases, planets, the fence, and Honest Joe's haberdashery, and Red Dog Trading Exchange, and deep space. They mine for ore, salvage wreckage, trade on the ever-shifting market, displace and swap, adding deep player interaction, and recruit crew members to improve efficiency. I'd like a little bit more information than just these. As to what you do, I mean, you take 2 actions. Do you play a card every action? The winner's the most points from gold, crew, officer cards, and super deals. Regular deal? No points. Super deal? You get points from me as well. If you ever get a super deal, that's points from Chris, from Room and Board. So everybody gets a ship, I guess? That's part of it? Yeah, that's gotta be it. How to play in 14 minutes? No, I want a rulebook. Yes, thank you. Only 6 pages of rules. Wow. In this game, your table becomes space. I like that there's floating scrap going around there. That's funny. Okay, so each location has commodities. That's the deal. You go to commodities to get stuff. So it's pick up and deliver. You're going to the planet. You just get to load in however much you like. There are objectives to complete at Honest Jose's haberdashery. From any location you can purchase crew cards. Okay. To perform a crew action, choose one type of your crew and activate their ability. That's what I wanted to know. The more matching crew cards you have, the more you can use that ability in a single action, the limit determined by the crew member. So you can mine 1 commodity on that planet per miner that you have, and then you put it into your ship. Cool. If you're stranded in space, you can be boarded and you can swap goods. You don't just get them stolen from, which is nice. The outlaws, they'll leave you something. They're like, listen, we don't want all this gold. We want your fur. And you're like, what? We want those fur. Give me that fur. And they just leave gold in your supply hold. And you're like, that's fine. I wanted gold anyway. They're like, you've just been robbed. When the last gold cube has been removed from the bank, each player gets exactly 2 more turns. Most points wins. Gold in storage is worth points. Cool. So this number is always the value at which is being traded. So it's a 5-to-1 value, 3-to-1 value, or a 5-to-3 value. So everything is unified in that way. Sure. That seems quite simple. It's mainly pick up and deliver. Shipping is local shipping. If you're in Portland, Oregon, you can pick it up for free. Shipping to the US is 8. Canada, it's 9. So this, for me, for the standard edition, would be around $90, 95, maybe 100 after tax. Even as much as they want to harp on the beautiful sculpts over and over again, it's really a economy of trading style of game. I guess the excitement will be when do you build up your cards and when do you invest in actually trading goods and mining those goods and selling them for gold, etc. If there's ways to manipulate other people's commodities and move them up and make them worth less, I think that could be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It seems okay. It doesn't really grab me. I could be interested by the cards. That card play doesn't feel hugely interesting to me, but it's not bad. So if you're interested in that, it finishes Wednesday, July 9th at 12 a.m. If you're looking for a game all about trading, being a traitor and trading against each other and moving markets up and down for the benefit of yourself or for the screwage of others, you can check that out. All right, we're moving on to Liberation, an intense asymmetric game where the Resistance and Occupier clash in a shadow war of ruthless tactics and decisive choices. My brain really wanted to say divisive, but it's decisive. Great, so that's not going to tell me anything. Libération. Still don't know what it's about. Take on the role of the occupier. I don't want to. Great, these are all just buzzwords. Why would I back the project? You've just given me buzzwords. The resistance, stealth, coordination, infiltration, the occupation, military power, methodical pursuit, and territorial control. Yeah, okay. Play Star Wars Rebellion. Different story, same story, but fictional. How to play. Here we go. Choose a scenario, add some special cards. Great. Personal objectives. The resistance shares a common objective. So it's not just worth for 2. Is that just 2 people? 1 to 4 people. I see. So it's 1 versus all. So a game turn. On their turn, the resistant player may discard 1 or more cards to move, recruit, draw, and cycle through their deck, attempt a mission, or chain actions to set up harassment against the occupier, and the occupier plays after each resistant player using action cards to enhance their deck, make arrests, secure sites, infiltrate networks in line with their objectives. But you're not telling me anything. Tell me. God damn it. Tell me. Oh, yeah. Occupier plays in between each resistance player. Again, which is why rulebooks are important when there are poorly written campaigns like this. I mean, I guess they did say each, but it can be interpreted. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So these different objects that you're trying to sort of match up to do actions or bonus actions. You're going to recruit cards, add to your deck. Yeah, so you're trying to develop your deck to have symbols to complete missions. You're then going to play those symbols to complete the specific missions, and has to be on the place of a mission in order to be able to carry it out. So in this example, the yellow player can carry out the mission for the placement map. They always have 6 cards in their hand, as many cards as they want to do one action. They can also buy cards. They can block cards from the resistance. They can raid to try to arrest people. That's a really kind of gross word for trashing a card when it's a World War II theme. Purification. Really? That's the choice that we're going with? We're happy with that choice? You're gonna purify your deck as the occupier, as the Nazis, and we're happy with that choice. Okay, like, come on. Each time the resistance complete a mission, the score marker is moved. Each time the occupant captures the resistance card, the score marker is moved. It's a tug of war. Then we just have the scenarios. I don't know. I don't think it's... I mean, I don't really like tug of war mechanisms. I don't really like the theme. I don't really see the fun here. And for €39, 63 Canadian, and then shipping is 15 to Europe, 25 to USA. Don't worry, it's VAT-free. Rest of the world is 35. I guess I'm 35. It would be double to get this game, which just looks not fun. Not really fun at all. But if you're interested, that finishes Wednesday, July 9th at 6:59 p.m. We're going to move forward, oh boy, with something I'm excited to cover. We have the Realm of Reckoning. I love Ivy Studios. Rebuild a fallen realm where player choices define the rules, shifting scoring, strategy, and mechanics every time you play. I'm really excited to see this. I almost got a review copy of this, but I was traveling and I said, nah, there's no chance. There's no chance I can get something done for them, but I am excited to check it out right now. Yeah, this seems very interesting. What I really like is that for the first time ever, you see meeples in in the base in the main pledge that they're showing off. They're not fully made out of metal. They're not pure gold pieces that cost $1,000 each, which seems like a deviation from Ivy Studios. Their stuff is always like super duper premium, and then I go, too expensive for me, but I like it. Yeah, a Kickstarter edition at $89 retails or $122 Canadian, or you have the $149, which is $204 Canadian. So $90 or $150. I do like it, what they're talking about. I'm still going to read the rulebook, but what they're talking about in the videos, the main draw are these monuments. You're going to be putting 9 of them on the board, and there's 19 different endgame scoring conditions. And so it's sort of a race to build the things that you want to score, that you have invested in scoring. And everybody else is trying to do all 19 at the same time, and they're thinking, well, I got to hedge my bets. I got to figure out what's going on until somebody says, okay, we're scoring this. And then people pivot and go and move towards those things. And I like that. I think that's an interesting balance, that you get just under 50% of the options every game. I think that's interesting, or has the potential to be interesting for sure. I'm interested to see what these card drafted power plays are. You draft a single card every turn, tucking it in high or low to gain faction reputation or build towards future points, and then you're blind bidding to seize massive troves of resources or rewrite the scoring mechanics. But overspend and you'll hobble your endgame engine. It's a good buzzword, a dynamic core. It makes you feel like there's some sort of really cool engine at work there. Yeah, I like this. The Cold War feeling is a good feeling to implement. Oh, okay. So you just draft the card and you're going to put either the top or the bottom part in. Yeah. Choose one card from your hand, pass the rest. The center of your drafted card provides you resources, coins, acolytes, wardens, mercenaries. Then you tuck the card on the top or the bottom of your player board with the chosen color. So there's top colors and there's bottom colors, I guess. Gain influence with the chosen pillar and lock down scoring icons for later. To the most influence in a faction, claim its artifact, granting powerful game-changing abilities. And I assume those can be stolen as well. Okay, that makes sense. You also... If you start a bid, you get to choose what people are bidding on. That makes sense. I see. Okay, so you're fighting over the influence every time, every card you play moves up to get that artifact, that specific artifact. And then you're also gaining this one symbol right there, that symbol for endgame scoring. They keep on talking about bidding resources though. What are the resources? Just like acolytes, different stuff, symbols, money, bidding resources, page 14. Okay, next one. 1 bid per acolyte, spend by removing them from the board. 1 First bid 1 coin, second bid 2 coins, etc. Spend by discarding them back. If coins are stolen from you during the resolution of a reckoning, they can still be used as part of your bid. I like that a lot. So you're like, well, yeah, I might as well use my coins. They've been stolen. You can use influence. You can use mercenary cards. You can use warden. So anything that you have gotten, you can use for bidding. That's the point of having all of these things. Coins are more flexible because they're not confined to a location, but obviously acolytes are in the location, so they're a little bit more powerful as well. So just drafting and bidding, that's all this game is. I have a lot of faith in Ivy Studios. I think they're really good at creating framework for people to have fun. Like if you have a good group who like to wheel and deal, who like to negotiate, who like to push each other's buttons, I think that's where Ivy Studios shines. They just really like to antagonize each other. That's probably how they come up with all their design. They just poke each other and have fun doing so. And then it just shows all the different monuments that will score, and they score at the end of each age. So the earlier you get it out, the more that you're fighting on it as well. You can see that the first age gets 5 points, then 10 points, and 15 points. So as long as you win the last age, you still got a good chance as well. Keeps the momentum going for the end of the game. After you play through all ages, player with the most victory points is the winner. And I really like this too, because you could essentially play a whole game just gaining victory points for your bids and making other people place monuments and then reacting to them. And that as a potential is very exciting. Yeah, it does seem great. Kickstarter edition is $89 though. Shipping is going to be $24 to get to Canada. So for me, again, it'd be about $150 for this game. Ivy Studios games are very expensive. What is their all-in again? Well, they do have a pay over time new Kickstarter payment option. So you can pay over time. I never like paying over time. I like knowing that I have the money and I spent the money and I'm not going into debt for a board game. I think that's probably good for me. Pledge levels. Naturally, you'll have metal coins, metal monuments, and a big old mat and screen-printed cloth bags. Player tokens, coins, and monuments are commonly stored in plastic bags, but not yours. Yours deserve the luxury that only 7 cloth bags can bring to those beautiful bits and bobs. I'm glad they say it like that, right? Like, often people will be like, ooh, cloth bags. And you'll think, oh yeah, okay, I must be drawing things out of cloth bags. They're like, no, you're not. You're just holding it. This is just to keep it stored. You're not even going to interact in this and anyway, but we know you like deluxifications, and that's something we can throw in. So you in? And to which 2,000 people said, yes, absolutely, yes. This is likely going to be the pick for me. Realistically, I think the game looks really good. I like Ivy Studios games. What have I played from them? I've played Veiled Fate. I've played Moonrakers. I've played Fractured Sky. I have Fractured Sky with me, actually, the retail version. I'm so excited that I have the limited edition retail version. Haven't played Mythic Mischief. I haven't played Tend. I haven't played Brink. And haven't played their Scales of Fate. I'm getting behind. I'm getting behind on my Ivy Studios. There was a time where I played almost everything except Mythic Mischief, and now here we are. But if you're interested, check it out. It finishes Wednesday, July 9th at 7 p.m. Moving along, we've got this one, just a quick print and play. Chernobyl. Avoid the nuclear disaster. Puts you in charge of the reactor in a race against time. Board game, print and play, PNP, PDF game, solitary, solo. Did you get it? It's a solo print and play game. I don't know if you got it. Oh, yuck. I hate this. I talked last episode about AI art. They're like, hey, we're using AI art. And I'm like, well, I understand people getting on board with it and not getting on board with it. And then when I see like this type of video, I just hate it so much, because that voice is also AI generated as well, right? Woof, woof, woof. They don't even friggin' say anything about the game in here. They just say, oh, attention, comrade. Do you think you can do better than the previous Russians? You should try. No rules, no video of how to play. Why would you even bother? Not even including it in the links. We're not moving on. There is kCaloria, which, to be fair, didn't cover. I don't think they did the $1 pre-pledge in this one. Oh, they did. Launch boom, boom. Yeah, I don't know if they did in the first one, because I covered it in the first one. I think it's through Launch Boom this time, and they're trying to do a $1 pre-pledge. And I don't know. Not really interested. Let's click that and see, actually. Yeah, I remember covering this, and I thought it looked very mediocre at best. So any excuse to not cover it again, I'm going to take. That moves on. Let's move on to Wabi Blobi. I mean, I didn't say this out loud. And now that I've said it out loud, I'm very happy that we're covering it. Wabi Blobi, a creative connection game. Swap, draw, and turn blobs into unexpected doodles and absurd stories. Let go of perfection and embrace surprise and laugh till you cry in Wabi Blobi. I mean, just saying Wabi Blobi makes me happy, so. A playful wellness game. Yeah, if you're a good drawer, what if you're shit at drawing like me? Yeah, I mean, it's cute enough. It's 126 backers have raised almost $12,000 Canadian, which is like $100 average each. There are going to be these blotches on the page, and they're like, hey, draw whatever you want. Draw whatever you want, pass it around in a circle. Everybody will draw something, then you're going to tell a story. There's your activity. Cute little activity. I think you could probably gamify it more. I think if you want a game where you like are drawing things, you could do telestrations, and you could do a fake artist goes to New York. Both of those would scratch a better itch. I think this is a neat concept, but I also think, what am I just going to draw? A little heart? It's a heart shape. What's this? A little duck? A duck moving around? It's a little duck. You're just like tracing outlines of stuff. Or you're adding in stuff of your own if you are a talented artist, which, unfortunately, I am not. You won't guess what I found in my cereal this morning. That's the title of this. So there we go. That's Wabi Blobi. $35 for this. I wouldn't. But, you know, good for them. They found an audience. That finishes Thursday, July 10th at 11:08 a.m. All right, next up we've got this, the Amsterdam Board Game Design Season 2. We're back with Season 2. 3 new card games by different members of ABGD. Loaf, Medievallons, and Goblin Laundromat. Okay, let's see what the heck this is all about. What was our first board game one? Time Zoo. I don't think I covered that. It's just goblins who are cleaning adventurous stuff. Very funny concept. Is it kind of like Flip 7? That's fun. That does sound fun. Medievallons seems like it sucks. Goblin Laundromat seems fine, and Loaf seems pretty good. That's my quick breakdown on those, and is there going to be anything about it that changes my opinion? No. But let's see if they have any rule books, at least. I'm interested to see what the push your luck mechanism is in Goblin Laundromat, because they cut away from it in the camera when right before they were going to show it, they're like, they see the reaction and they're like, okay, but I don't know what actually happened. Loaf seems great. Loaf seems right up my alley, and Medievallons seems very fine, just not good. You can get all games for €40. You can just get one game for €15. Let's see what people are getting. Just the one. 24 for Goblin Laundromat, 14 for Medievallons, and 39 for Loaf. Yes, that makes sense, because Loaf is the best one. I'm even more confused about what Goblin Laundromat is. Essentially, you're going to have these different washing machines. They're going to let you draw cards into your hand, and they're also going to determine the types of stains that you can clean that round. Okay, so you're going to have stains up top, and you can't have that many stains, or you can. Yeah, if the amount of stains exceeds the maximum stains in the active program, the laundry fails. So you need to get the thing that isn't showing, essentially the color of your... If you're in purple, purple doesn't count towards your stains. Sure, and you've drafted this laundry hand, so you kind of know what's in there. If you've built it correctly, there won't be that much unknown stuff happening. Sure. Again, it just seems fine. It's a little bit of a convoluted, you're building your own draw pile, and then you're flipping up the draw pile to see if you break your machine or not, trying to push your luck. Say, okay, well, I do have another purple card in there. I'm going to draw, hoping that I hit the purple card so I can get more money. Sure. On to Loaf. Loaf is awesome. Loaf is where you want to bid the lowest unless the job is going to fail. You need to bake a certain amount of bread, and everybody's baking that bread. And if everybody bakes the bread, it's great. You succeed. So if there's an order of 10 bread, and I bake 10 loaves, and someone else bakes 2, and you bake 1, and then Cindy over there bakes 0, Cindy still gets points for it and is completely fine. Actually has done the least amount of work, so is doing great. The person who made the most gets a little bit more reputation, which is important, because if you fail 5 things, if everybody's not doing any work, then anybody who has like a negative reputation will be out of the game. So I love bidding games where there is a penalty, like QE, for pushing the limit. I played QE recently, and then I looked at my stats, and I have only one QE or busted. I either win or I bust. Because I just think I've got more wiggle room than I do. And I love that as a concept of people being like, nah, I'm not going to bake any bread. I know you're going to bake a lot of bread. I'm not going to bake a single loaf of bread. I'm not going to do it. And then just having those ramifications work their way through, I think is really funny. Because the cards left in hand at the end of the game are worth their value in points. So you want to play the low cards so you can keep your high cards, but you want to make sure that your reputation is high enough in case everybody just keeps playing their low cards. Sounds like a great game. Very funny. And then Medievallons, you're making guilds, so you're trying to draw cards and create sets. You're going to put those sets in front of you, or you're going to play a card for its ability. The abilities seem to be like stealing or attacking people. And this is where I don't like the game. It's like, oh, it takes 3 guilds to win. That person has 2 guilds. What are you going to do? You're going to attack that person for the next round, right? The flow of the game is already a bit predetermined in that way. This is why I think it's just not interesting. And, right, choose a card and a guild on the table. Move that card to the discard pile. Oh, you've been assassinated. Oh, you've been assassinated. Oh, you've been assassinated. Not really that exciting. So the rules stand. How much is shipping though? To Canada, 18 to 24. So it's more expensive than the game itself. It'd be around $50 to get loaf to my door. Too expensive for me to legitimately want to get that to me. But I thought it looked great. Loaf looks great. Goblin Laundromat looks meh. And Medievallons looks bad. So if you're interested, that finishes Thursday, July 10th at 12:01 p.m. Moving along to this one, Castelnuovo 1539 War Game. Oh no, we shouldn't cover this. This is going to be awful. Come whenever you dare. Just anytime. Come anytime. Come even when it's not appropriate. Come in bad locations. Come wherever you want. The last stand of the Spanish Sarmientos Tercio in the village of Castelnuovo. I'm going to watch the video for this, and I imagine that's it. I can't do war games at this hour, but I really do love, you know, these little counters that are standing up the fog of war, or the hidden information, the stratego of it all. I do think that's fun, but that's pretty much where I tap out at this point in time. This is a big old historical war game, a 2-player game with asymmetric sides, both in units and victory conditions. The Spanish are conducting a desperate defense. Their only hope is to inflict as many casualties on the Ottoman army that it stops their campaign and makes the capture of the city costly. The Ottomans will have to take the city, causing irreplaceable casualties to the Spanish Tercio, while suffering camisado attacks and sudden strikes from the besieged. Yeah, I'm not the one to cover this. It's not me. It's definitely not me. But €45 for a war game, that's pretty good. You can check it out yourself. I'll leave the links in the comments down below. Or in the description, rather. We're moving on to Black Rose Wars. The revised edition raised $750,000 Canadian. We have a new revised edition from Ludus Magnus Studios, which, if my Discord is to be believed, and they often are, nothing has changed. It's just a reprint. I mean, it was like 4 years ago they were crowdfunding Black Rose Wars Rebirth. How much revision should there have been? So this is the revised edition. I wonder if they'll tell us what's different. Revised edition features. Sure. Let's jump ahead to this section. New miniature prints to enhance your visual quality. Okay. New bases with optimized ring system made of soft plastic. Okay, so new minis. New rules that are clearer and easier to read with the addition of avatars and new room point scoring. Okay, new plastic trays that are more practical and designed to hold the 5-6 player components of Hidden Thorns. That's it. New minis that are a little bit better. We tweaked the minis a bit. We changed a couple rules in the rulebook. Otherwise, it's still pretty much the same. We added, you know, a different room type. That's it. Nothing has changed. That's what that means. Nothing has changed. If you want to get the first step into the lodge, it's €125, 205 Canadian. Essentially, the game is you have a bunch of rooms. They're the school of the Black Rose Wars. You're going to program your actions. You have a group of people in the Black Rose Mage Hall or whatever. You are going to go into the Black Rose and deal damage to everybody. You're going to lay traps. You're going to move things around. You're going to prepare for what people are going to do. Then you're going to reveal your cards simultaneously, and you are going to attack each other. The more you deal damage in specific rooms, the more cubes you're going to add to those rooms. You then are going to destroy the rooms. You're going to flip them over. That's the same in Black Rose Wars Rebirth, where you're just flipping them back. That's the difference. And all the while you have these different spells that you're building into your decks. You're getting stronger and stronger because of your school of magic. But there's generally like 8 schools of magic, which you have all separated and are slowly adding to your deck so that you can cast spells over and over. Whenever you add something from a school of magic, just drawing a card from the top of the deck. I don't know. I read the rule book, 5 years ago, and I've retained a lot of it because I did a 5 reasons you shouldn't back on Black Rose Wars Rebirth. That was way back when Ludus Magnus was one of the first people to be like, yeah, it's a $5 pledge to get Pledge Manager access, and it's going to be more expensive in the Pledge Manager. But it's nice that they're revamping the rulebook. I remember it being a little bit hard to get to the table. I just think it's way expensive for a simple little battle royale game. There's a lot of variability with the cards, but I don't think you need all this variability. And I'm not a huge fan of that pre-programming what's going to happen. I've never really been a programming fan in games, or not when it's a core mechanism. It's a very sort of core mechanism. 6 revised School of Magic, so 7 schools of magic. I think it's great that they're doing a little revamp. This doesn't seem like it would be anything that somebody would need to go and replace their whole system with, even though, 1,000 people have. To full revised edition standards, no need to restart from scratch, except it's basically the same price as restarting from scratch. It seems insane to me, but I've never known Ludus Magnus backers to have much sense in them anyway. If you're interested, the finish is on the 10th of July at 3 p.m. as I alienate every single person around. Ooh, this is one I'm excited about. It's probably going to let me down, but I'm still going to be excited about it. We have Diceocracy, strategy board game about winning the election in a dice-filled cyberpunk future. This is from All or None Games. They did the game Hidden Arc, which I backed. And I don't back anything, and I quite enjoy what it does. And so I'm always excited when something of theirs pops up. So let's see what this one has in store. They're going really well with the theme, and they're like, but you gotta manipulate the people, and your people are dice. All right, it seems interesting. There's only 1,000 copies will be printed. There you go. It's a little dice drafting game where you're going to be putting the dice on your own little grid and achieving objectives, personal objectives that you've scored, that you'll score for votes or victory points. How to play. You send out one of your representatives to one of the 8 districts. You take a demographic die from the district and leave your rep in its place. You basically just take the die and you use your people as counters. You place the demographic die on your candidate board and make it your die follower. You can use the action from the district and place the die follower. Okay, cool. So your worker placement, taking the spot of the district, and also taking the dice. And then your dice follower may trigger an action in the same row or column as of your candidate board. So you can up the population, gain popularity within the demographic group by advancing the marker on the depicted popularity track, or take a depicted card from the deck, gain funding, change a die in your district, re-roll a die in your district, swap a die with your district, manipulating things around. Cool. Actions let you manipulate and move your demography dice, raise funds, increase your popularity, gain advertise and political stunt cards, and shift your reps around. The pips of the dice are votes, and the dice colors represent the different demography groups. Demography? Because it's the demographic, right? So demography would make sense. Finally, you may play one advertising card and one political stunt card at the end of your turn. Advertising cards usually cost you money, gives you different benefits and actions. Political stunts demand certain requirements of your die followers, but they give you extra votes. You know what? I think this also seems great. I think this seems quite great. Very simple. It's going to be about manipulating the tracks, activating small worker placements. You'll get different cards. You're hoping to draw into objective cards that you can complete. When you draw those objective cards, you're going to try to complete them every round, swapping your dice around, manipulating it in this small pattern. Move over, Tamashi, because this is better. It doesn't even have a rulebook on the page, which is annoying, but I'm not that annoyed because I thought it was a really good explanation, and I can get a very clear sense of what the game will be. Shipping to the rest of the world is €15, so for me to get this game would be $80. It's not a no. It's really not a no. All or None Games really doing well for me. They always have such low funding goals, and I think their games can be potential real gems. Hidden Arc was quite nice. It did exactly what I wanted it to. I have a feeling that this is going to do exactly the same thing. If you're sick and tired of Sagrada, this is a little like level up from Sagrada. And yeah, I'm interested. If you're interested, that finishes Thursday, July 10th at 3:28 p.m. Pretty good one. Let's move on to this one. Wild Hunt Festival Chronicles, the hit JRPG board game, is back. A trilogy of JRPG boss battling board games for 1 to 4 players featuring class-based combat, character progression, and challenging boss battles. Let's check it out. Returns with 2 brand new games and an updated deluxe version of the 2021 release. Okay, that's telling me nothing. Wild Hunt Studios is the first created, although apparently they've created some before. How to play. Register your adventurer. You set that Character to level 4. Okay. Set up the dungeon. 21 survey cards. Deal out the starting dungeon. Read the story. Collect the mysterious relics. Face mighty bosses. Oh, and again, how to play. Register your adventure. Choose your mode. Lead your party to victory. And then there's shipping. Yeah, I mean, there's a few videos of tutorials, but there's no rulebook, just generic fantasy anime. Apparently it has its fans, but I am not one of them, nor am I interested in covering things that don't have a rulebook at this point in time, you know? I don't like it. It's not really giving me enough information here, and that's it. We're moving on. That's July 10th at 10:01. We're gonna move on to this one, Dark Venture Battle of the Ancients, the second printing, a tactical strategy and adventure game in a dark fantasy future where players control asymmetric factions engaging in a brutal conflict. Let's see what sort of conflict they're up to. All right. Asymmetric strategy and adventure game. It says it's tactical as well. Play one of the 5 core factions, each with unique units and abilities. Roll custom action dice on each turn, spending them to move units or activate their faction's special abilities. Engage the enemy in solo, co-op, and competitive scenarios, each with unique faction objectives and new ways to play. Auto-enemy decks for each faction, providing unique and challenging adversaries while playing solo. Is that how I'm supposed to say it? I feel like I've covered this before. It seems... Ugh. Dark Venture, episode 7. Am I just a hat rack? Oh, episode 71. I knew I covered this before. Did it ever? Episode 71. Did it ever come back again? This is talking about a lot of the different story cards. This is the same game, but it seems very much more focused on the skirmishy aspect of it. So maybe they've changed some things. Combat, up to 2 units on the same space can attack up to 2 other units of another faction. Unit strength is noted on their token, and the attack is noted on the token as well. You can roll these different action dice, I guess, move you and move you diagonally or up and down, or building walls, it says. Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's like it's based on that choose your own adventure style that the other ones seem to be. Oh, I just don't care. Sorry, I just don't care at all. Like, not a single bit. What is special about this other than the art? Can't really tell you. I like that your units are a little bit different and they're being put out, and there's some different modes that you can do. You're probably just going to do the scenario modes because it gives you a setup yourself. I don't know. I just don't care. Sorry, Dark Venture. If there are big Dark Venture fans in the comments, let me know. Say, Chris, you need to get past all the unnecessarily bolded text and the vomit of colors on a page and the single space and stream of consciousness rulebook that is being put forward. And trust me, it's a great game. Maybe I'll watch a video about it. I know you're watching a video about it so that you don't have to watch a video about it, but I just think it looks the same as everything else, and not in a good way. That finishes Friday, July 11th at 12 a.m. Let's move on to this instead, which Guess Chess is a unique mix of chess, guessing, and memory. It takes less than a minute to learn, but offers surprisingly many layers of strategy to employ and explore. Plus, it's super portable and accessible to everyone. Okay, what do you got for me, Guess Chess? I'm sticking around because you got Darwin's Journey hanging out in the back there. And Far Shore. Oh, yeah, so excited to play that. All right, you put your cards face down, and then you each take turns flipping over cards in the pattern of chess moves, because each card will have a different chess move on it. And then you hope that your opponent can't make a move when you can't make a move. So, like, I guess you could set it up where you're like, yeah, I know that my bishop's here, and then I put things around it that it will never touch, and I'm going to set it up so that I can chain into that to then have you chain into something else so that I can chain into something and make you lose. But that just feels like it would be a heck of a lot of random. Although the price is good, €9, 14 Canadian. So if that idea sounds interesting to you, you want to play around with it, well, you could just draw pictures yourself and try it out first and then decide if it was interesting or not. Oh, although I guess you're revealing your opponent's cards. Each card reveals one opponent's card within its range. So if you can't reveal an opponent's card within the range, then you're screwed. So basically, as other cards are put down, you want to put down your own cards. So once this card is plopped down, that's when you play your knight, right? I don't care. Give me a better game. It seems fine. It's over on GameFound. That finishes on the 11th at 1 p.m. All right, we're moving on to this. It's not a game, but it's a game accessory. This is the Game Toppers 5.0 game table system, game mats, and accessories. Game Toppers is a game table that is affordable, versatile, portable, durable, heirloomable, quality, proven, and owned by thousands worldwide. What's a game topper? Well, it's a top for your table. It's a top for your table that's almost as much as an entire board gaming table itself. Why you would want to put this on your table? I have no idea. I guess we own 40 of them that we use at BGG Con every year for our hot games room, so you can not buy expensive board game tables, and you can buy expensive toppers to put on your not expensive board game table. I guess there's a little bit, well, you can have it as a storage option. That's a potential. Have this as a storage option, have a game table part of the time. I don't know. I don't see the value or appeal whatsoever. But a lot of people do, and if you're one of those people, well, let me know why in the comments, and check it out. It finishes Friday, July 11th at 5 p.m. Moving along to this one. I'm very excited about this. Yeah, I am pretty excited about this. We have the Isofarian Guard Veilward. Veilward is the expansion of the award-winning game, the Isofarian Guard. Experience the epic storytelling and strategic gameplay that made the Isofarian Guard unforgettable. A cast of new characters, new lands, and fresh mechanics are waiting to be discovered. Venture beyond Isofar's borders and explore the mystery of the Veil, all brought to life through immersive audio narration by Foreteller. This campaign includes a third printing of the Isofarian Guard and the new Veilward expansion. I'm interested to see. Everything new is $225, $315. That makes sense. What's the Veilward expansion just regularly? $120, yeah. The original Isofarian Guard, which now the base game is $220, was the steal of the deal of the century. They underpriced it so much. They lost money on it, I think, just to get the word out and get people excited about Isofarian Guard, and they've done that. You know, people have raised a lot of money towards this expansion, which is clearly a huge expansion if you go just by the size or the cost of it. I want to watch this gameplay, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about the game if you didn't know anything about it. It was just mentioned recently in our Best Campaign Games Deathmatch. Made me dream about all the campaign games that I will never play. Isofarian Guard is one that, well, this video is not loading, so I guess we'll just talk about it. Isofarian Guard is one of those things where I'm quite interested in it because of the flow of the game. The main draw here is that there is this sort of bag building aspect, and that you're always playing two characters. You can play one player, you can play two player, but you will be controlling these two characters as you go through. There we go. Oh, I didn't realize that this was the Evanescence expansion. Man, it's just fun component shots. That's all you're showing me. Way to not tell anybody anything about the game. But the music's exciting. Yeah, and in that main Isofarian Guard, there are 5 interweaving campaigns. So there are basically 5 different campaigns that you go on with different pairings of people in the Guard. And then you'll see they'll finish and they'll go back to the Guard and be like, okay, well, what did Masha and Ayla do on this turn, on this realm, you know, and you'll travel them and there'll be some intersecting stuff. And that idea sounds interesting and compelling to me. People did mention that the gameplay itself was a little bit grindy, the same encounters were happening frequently, so it could get a little bit repetitive. And I don't know if they've done anything to change that. Lots of enemy AI decks of individual actions that these people will perform. Oh yeah, I do remember listening to the Foreteller did a really great job on Isofarian Guard as well. Some ant gravity going on over here. Setup and teardown only takes 10 minutes. That feels like still a lot of time, you know? Veilward uses bag building while introducing a new deck building system, so it was cheaper than the chips, alongside a unique grid-based card mechanic where you strategically shift cards in battle to trigger powerful effect. You'll guide 2 new guards, Rey and Luca. Come on, Star Wars, coded. Get out of here. Yeah, completely new battle phase because you're using that deck building aspect. Early in the story of Veilward, Rey and Luca transform into Veil Wardens, incredible entities capable of traversing between physical and spirit worlds. This traversing between worlds is what introduces a new mechanics into the expansion. Oh, so it stops the exploration grind that you can just teleport across the Veil. Yeah, I mean, it does seem cool. 120 for the Veilward expansion. Yeah, 220 for the base game of Isofarian Guard. Way too much money for me to invest in something that I'm never going to play. Because I still need to play Aetherfields and Tenaris Adventures. Those and more Earth Under Siege. You know, I have too many campaign games. But I've been really enjoying Iridia and enjoying that campaign game. And so there is something fun about going on a journey with your friends. So if this is the journey that you want to go on, well, check it out. The finish is on the 12th at 1:59 a.m. Moving along to this one, Pet Names, a game of endearments. A fast, fun game where you compete to make the best nicknames for friends and family. featuring 400 mini cards in a furry fox plush. Sorry, not in a furry, but in a furry fox plush. All right, what is this little game, and how can I be mean to it? I can't be. Look at that beautiful, precious angel. Such a cute little jelly bean bunny, such a magical pink unicorn, such a charming strawberry shortcake. Oh, so it's just like that book of Shakespearean insults that I have at my desk. You lily-livered, boorish tadpole. Do you remember Cloud9? I was like, that was fine. Best nickname wins each round. So what you might be saying is that this is indeed a funny word game, because there's only one word on every card and you're building the words yourself, but it's basically a funny card game. If you're interested in that cute little pet name, if you're interested in furries, check it out. The finish is Saturday, July 12th at 9 p.m. All right, let's see what this one is. Next up, we got Chasms, 2 to 6 player strategic card game. Only a few more. I think we can get it done tonight. Let's do it. The world imbalanced. Its hordes released. You've been blessed to hunt them down. So, hunt them down. You've been blessed, okay? You've been blessed with a bow. So just go and hunt those hordes down. But they're scary. Please, they're dangerous. I don't care. You've been blessed. You've been blessed with 2 feet, haven't you? Well, go on a walk. That's what that reads as. You know what? You've been blessed with 2 hands. Now go start punching those hordes. That's not what they're for. I love making tools. Yeah? Well, make yourself a tool to hunt those hordes. Or I'll throw you in the chasm. Sorry, the Chasms. So it's just solo leveling. What? Solo leveling? Did somebody say solo leveling? I'm buying it all. No, you've got powers and there are gates opening. All right, so you get your crew of people and you got to defeat a bunch of monsters. Rules are straightforward. Great. I'd love for you to tell me them. You choose 2 hunter factions. You set aside the hunter leader cards and you shuffle the 2 decks. Shuffle the monster cards. You flip over 1 monster card. Assign heart tokens to each player. Assign VPs to monster. Draw 5 cards and start the game. Play up to 2 attacks or skill cards. Draw 5 cards from the deck that you smashed together, right? Attack cards can trigger the monster retaliation, while skill cards diversify your strategy. Roll the dice for a monster retaliation. At least you get to activate one of your 2 leaders. That's somewhat interesting. And I assume the health points on it are the victory points, so there's no... everybody who kills it just gets all the points. Shipping is $20 for a base set, which is 42 Singapore, 45 Canadian. That's like 30, 32. They do have a rule book. Good for you. Let's see if it's kill or be killed. Yeah, and take 2 victory points. When you play this card, you take 2 victory points from the monster. So you take away its health, essentially, every time. Yo, 42. Yeah, monster victory point count as well as the monster health. Yeah. And then the different retaliation effects. Win condition, last monster defeated, play with most points wins. You're just trying to optimize your cards. There doesn't seem to be much interaction with each other. 45 is a lot for a little card game as well. Plus shipping is a lot. It's not as bad as I expected it to be. I think there might be some fun there in terms of playing cards and getting points and constantly getting points and things going by pretty quickly, but I don't think it's worth the price. That finishes Monday, July 14th at 7:50 a.m. 3 more. Can we do it? Well, there's 3 here, so I guess 5 more. Well, there's 4 here, so 6 more. We've got 4 small card games reminiscent of retro video games. They score on the gameplay while hitting the nostalgia button. Okay. No video, but it is by Grail Games. We do love Grail Games. They brought Barony back into the limelight. How can we not love Grail Games? Ohio Bob's, also only $13. Nice. Everything together is 35 Canadian. That feels very reasonable. $26 US? Sure. These games are printed, but as a small company, we need your help to get them into your hands before tariffs. Change everything again. You could pick it up at Essen as well. All right, well, let's take a look at what they all do. What is Aliens Attack? Grid movement, pattern movement, solitaire game, 40 cards. Every turn, you choose to either use one of the 3 available planetary defense actions or fire a cannon at the descending alien ship. Yeah, it's Space Invaders. You're choosing which cannon to fire, shooting down the aliens, trying to knock them out. Sure. Ohio Bob. 1 to 2 players, cooperative game, hand management, tile placement. Can you recover the ancient amulet from a heavily defended dungeon? Bob is an adventurer unafraid of the trials that await him in the steamy jungle ruins built eons ago. Join him as he tries to recover the mysterious amulet that he knows is hidden within a treacherous temple. Cards are double-sided, either being used as a tool to help Bob through the temple or as part of the map of the temple itself. During the game, the player must juggle filling their backpack with useful tools as well as making their way, they're making their way through the 3 floors of the temple by laying out the cards on the table. Tools, some of the tools Bob will find include meat. Yum. I love a good meat tool. Anytime I need to hammer up some drywall or, you know, take some screws out of some pliers, I use my meat stick. Just bang it. If Bob manages to make his way through 3 floors into the temple to find the hidden amulet before losing all his health, he wins the game. Then we've got Harvest Valley, 38 cards. Grow your vegetables, watch out for the crows. In the farming game, players are trying to build up their farms as their neighbors encroach on their lands. So this is for 2 to 5 players. Cool. All right, much more interesting to me. There are also wild boars and crows intent on eating crops, whose farm will be the most successful. On your turn, either place a card from the display into a shared grid or build one of your farmhouses. Your job is not just to increase the yield of your own farm, but hinder the development of some of the other farms as well. So you're going to be placing farm cards that can either create crops or can give negative points. Once the grid is full, you score points for wherever you place the farmhouses. That makes a lot of sense. And then finally, we have level 10. 20 minutes, 1 to 5 players. Cooperative game, hand management, limited communication. I do love limited communication. And level 10 cooperative game, originally known as Okie Dokie. Players work Okie Dokie. I know people who text me that all the time. Okie Dokie. Do those people watch this channel? They used to. If you do, text me Okie Dokie. Just out of the blue. Players work together to guide Izzy through 10 levels in each of the 5 video game worlds. Goal is to play all 50 cards, 40 level cards, and 10 reset cards onto a 5x10 grid. Hands are kept secret, and only minimal hints can be shared. If a player fails to play a card on their turn, the team loses. Oh, okay, yeah. On their turn, players usually play a level card from their hand. Each level card depicts the level numbered 1 to 8 in one of the 5 worlds. Then there are also 2 reset cards. These allow players to reset the numbers of the level to 0. Players must play a single reset card to each column in the grid that is being formed. If all 50 cards have been played, so you have to time out when to play your cards down. It's kind of like the game, a bit of the mind, just counting up, making that timing happen, only dealing with the cards that are in your hand. I think it seems fine. It seems okay. For me in Canada, there's a 4-pack for $47 Canadian. And then shipping to Canada is $21, approximately 19 Canadian. So around $66 for 4 games. 16 bucks a game Canadian, 10 bucks, you know, 12 bucks US for one of these things. I think that seems pretty friggin' reasonable if you like the games. Do I like the games? Well, I don't know. I think the most interesting one to me is Harvest Valley, and then maybe Ohio Bob, then maybe level 10, then maybe Aliens Attack. I'm not sure. All in that vein. I think it's fine. I think it's okay. Nothing really thrills me out of those 4. The maximum excitement for me is just, yeah, because I'm not super into, I don't need any more of these filler games, if you will. But seems neat, like cool art style, great price as well. Can't begrudge it. The finish is Tuesday, July 15th at 10:59 a.m. Let's see how involved Hell is. Hell Legends. It's a cooperative dungeon crawler for 1 to 4 heroes in a world where hellfire and lava reign supreme, inspired by legendary games like Diablo and crafted for adult players. I really would like to finish this video tonight, but I need to go to sleep. So I don't know. We're going to see how involved this is, and if I can grok it instantly, then we're going to finish the video tonight. And if not, then we'll cover this and Lord of the Rings at another time. I'm just saying that aloud. It's going to be the same video for you. I like the leveled terrain, but I'm not going to be able to figure this out. I need to just go to sleep. See you instantly. Okay, got a few minutes in my newest camera orientation, but we are going to check out Hell Legends. Let's do a little reload because it's been a bit since I've thought to get ahead on this, and the inexorable passage of time keeps going. So we're going to check this out. This is Hell Legends. Hell Legends is a cooperative. Oh, come on. I've been having so many woes. Make this a hotspot. Okay, Hell Legends. A cooperative dungeon crawler for 1 to 4 heroes. We're still recording, yes. Where hellfire and lava reign supreme, inspired by legendary games like Diablo and crafted for adult players. Sounds like there's going to be some devilish dice. Let's check it out. Is there a video? I think there is. It looks like a standard dungeon crawler, but I do like whenever there are these different terrains. I don't actually like it. I mean, I like it in concept, right? Because then you're putting things out and you're climbing mountains and you can get terrain. But honestly, for me, I'm like, I don't care. I don't want the box size. I don't want to set it all up. So it's really like, but I like it in theory, and I like it in theory. So at least there's that. I do like the dual layered boosting up your stats and stuff. That's cool. And like, that's just, there's a fun factor, right? There's a toy factor there when you're like, I'm going to move my guy on a mountain. Wow. All right, great. So nothing has been told yet, but it's like Diablo for adult players. Choose your class and enter the fray. Forge your character with complete freedom. Sure, solo and co-op, great. So skill freedoms, you're gonna get skills. Face a one-shot legend, battle hordes in hunt mode, or defend your life in tower defense mode. So all sort of scenario based, but there can be some tower defense scenarios and there can be some not tower defense scenarios. This is the big bundle. The core pledge is 115 euros, so $118 Canadian. Offline mode for the scenarios. That's smart. I feel like everything should have it. Get a bunch of heroes in the stretch goals. Probably will be in the core box if that ever hits retail. Again, with stuff this size, feels like it never hits retail. Okay, game modes. This is the how to play section. We've hit the how to play section, so let's hope it tells us a little bit. Unveil the story behind the legend as you go deeper and explore the world while developing your hero skills. Okay, so maybe there is like a little bit of a campaign mode in legend mode. Dive straight into battle and face creatures without any story parts. Okay, so one-shot scenarios or a narrative campaign. Or just defend your village. Play any legend or choose a different game mode. Okay. Branching story paths. Choose to dive into stories. And what, gang? Whispers. What was that? Whispers for a deeper experience. I think the Whisperer's voice is gone. I need to find it back. The Whisperer. Yes, the Whisperer. Whispers for a different experience. There you go. That's a bit more whispery. I don't know. Hero phase ends after 3 hero actions in any order. Then an encounter card is drawn. Discuss your plans to ensure each action's effectiveness. Cool. Develop basic attributes, specialized gameplays, more mana, more health. Victory leads to unlocking cards. I like this aspect. This is what I really like about Aetherfields as well, as you slowly ramp up your deck. You just draw 3 secret cards. You decide which one to unlock, and you can get little bonuses. I always think that's very fun in a campaign. Gives you that dopamine, gives you that sense of progression, and gives you a choice. I think the choice is so key of like, oh, you can only take one of these skills. Which one should you take? That's always a blast. You collect experience points, and then you can level up your monster, or level up your hero, and you can 2 skill points to upgrade your skill trees. Awesome. Love that. Use focus to reroll, and much more. Okay, so you have a mitigation. Yeah, having the high ground provides an attack bonus. Well, we knew that since Revenge of the Sith. Elevation is also crucial to monsters' target priority. Cool, fun. Oh, nice. All right, so everything on your sideboard, that seems nice for tracking. And the stand-up features a wide range of character development options. That's what I'm getting as well. The rulebook, 36 pages. Oh, it's only 36? That's great. So what am I looking for here in these rules? I'm looking to see how it stands out amongst other dungeon crawlers. You know, it probably the skill paths will be the standout if they're going to be highlighting those. I want to see how the combat is. If the combat is fun, I want to see how much dice mitigation there's going to be. I don't need dice mitigation in my games, right? I don't think Massive Darkness has dice mitigation. I friggin' love it. What matters to me is the flow of the game. For me, character customization is a pretty huge thing. And what matters to me is that there's like excitement driving here, that it builds upon like, yeah, I want to get this to the table. I want to be unlocking things. I want to be getting dopamine hits. I want the monsters to be not too fiddly, right? I want all that sort of stuff to see what's going to happen. These are your hero components. There's going to be the player boards, just mana and health. The skill board is the thing that I am the most excited about from what I have seen thus far. I also love that it's friggin' standees. I do love that it's standees and that your heroes are your miniatures. I mean, it is still very expensive for standees. Normally, this is a price where you'd get a whole bunch of minis, but I find, I don't know, I like I like a smaller box, right? I guess they're leaving room for all the elevated terrain, so you win some, you lose some. For me, I'm really focused, I guess today, on just space and space saving, because I don't have any. And if I want to get new toys, I need to find some. So please make it as accessible as possible. I can't keep storing things at Zach's house. As you explore a legend, you'll face tough immersive choices that shape the story and carve unique paths through the game. Each decision has lasting consequences, including the outcome of the legend and testing the hero's will to survive. I like that there's an app. I like that there is an app for these sort of narrative choice style games. It's better than searching through a book, I feel. And anything that can do some of that bookkeeping for you. There's a reason why that Gloomhaven app was so popular, right? In terms of managing the monster's health. I don't want to do that. I don't want to move those tokens back and forth. Absolutely not. Great, so hunt mode is in development and defense mode is in development. So they're just these additional modes, these additional scenarios that they're going to build into it. But likely, because there's a tower defense scenario in legend mode, So then they're just going to have you take that scenario. You know what I mean? Like, they're just going to be pulling these one-shot scenarios out, and you don't have to engage in the story to do them. You can just play them as their own thing, as if you were going back to a video game to replay them. Each hero has a unique playstyle with 20 unique skills. Every hero also comes with a hero booklet detailing their individual setup components, skills, and starting gear. Their complexity is indicated by red dots on the hero card. So we got the Barbarian, easy, smash things. The Ranger, easy, shoot things. The Sorceress, yeah, a little bit more complicated. You're doing some magic, but it's okay. And then the Necromancer, obviously the most complicated. You're raising people from the dead. You think that's easy? Ask Edward and Alphonse and see where that gets you. Cool. So there's multiple legends, it seems. A legend represents a standalone scenario. Exploring each legend will result in rich, intriguing, and hard decisions for the hero, which will determine the course of their story and lead them on a different path. Each time a legend is played, okay, so a legend is a scenario that you're going to go through for your main campaign. It's a big campaign, but you'll do Legend 1, and that'll, you know, make you go to Legend 2 or Legend 3. And it'll be that sort of binary choice, which is great. Like, Mass Effect does that, and I really like that in Mass Effect. Very simple. I'm going to go this pathway now. I'm going to play these scenarios now, lightly tied together, not huge. These are side stories, again, side quests that you can do. Then we have each legend may provide multiple. Each legend must provide multiple whispers. The Whisperers are tiny events taking place everywhere in the world of Hell Legends. Thank you, Whisperer. We do it for Hextra. When you're prompted to perform a skill check, lots of skill checks, roll a number of white action dice equal to the value of the basic attribute specified in the check. Sum up the values on your rolled dice to determine your skill check. Yeah, your accuracy is 3, so you roll 3 white dice. Easy. Each success, yada yada. Placement, that seems pretty easy. Zone attacks, sure, just you can attack either in front of you or sometimes you can attack. Always rounded down. Dealing with line of sight, that seems pretty intuitive. Like a normal line of sight, nothing too complicated there. Round sequence. So we have the hero phase. You spend hero action tokens in any chosen order. And you have 3 action tokens per player. So presumably you could just spend 3 of one player, then have everybody react. But then you can't activate that player again until everybody's gone. Cool. I like that. I like that choice. I love that flexibility in choice when you're playing a game because, yeah, makes you feel like you're making decisions. I mean, I think this looks good. Again, you know it's too expensive for me, right? Is anything going to make me feel actively over the moon excited? Can this beat Massive Darkness for me? I really do like this concept of the skill. Skill tree is super fun. And then this is how you adjust your basic attributes over here. But it's pretty simple, you know? There's 4 different attributes that you're going to be manipulating, and then you're going to be going through all these different skills. The different skills are stuff like Bloodlust, 2 mana, right? You get additional hits, additional bonuses to your attack. Jump 1 to 3 spaces. Really, this is they're like pulling directly from Diablo in terms of the war cry, like an iron skin. These are literally the Diablo barbarian keywords. So yeah, if you want to make a Diablo board game, that's legit, which I don't mind because then it's essentially quick. Okay, each hero action, you can move, you can climb, interact, loot, meditate. Roll 4 dice. Oh, you can just restore. Okay, so that's a standard restore your health action. Use an active skill. You pay its cost. And then you can attack. Attack an enemy in range. Your weapon stat defines your available dice. Your strength determines how many dice may count towards your basic attack. Oh, I see. So if I have like a weapon stat of 5 and a strength of 2, I can roll 5 dice and then I can pick 2 of those dice to apply. I think that's what that means. If your strength is higher than the number of dice from your weapon stat, gain white attack dice to reach your strength value. Okay, so your strength can override it. Strength is lower, pick the dice you want to roll. Okay, so maybe I got it wrong. Okay, so the weapon stat will just say what dice you have available, and then if your strength is lower, you can only roll 2 of those dice, I think. Rather than being able to roll them all and pick 2, you can just roll 2, which makes more sense in terms of the flow or in terms of boosting up the relevant stats. Although then it just seems like you should only invest in strength, because if your strength is higher than the number of dice from your weapon stat, gain white attack dice to reach your strength value. There must be variations of dice that you can roll. Oh, because it's only white attack dice, because they're better. The other colors are better. Give you better results. Cool, like that. That's how we intuit some rules, baby. Well, can you call it really intuiting? It tells you. You know, it's not really. Yeah, it's somewhat intuitive. They didn't say what the color of the dice meant. I'm gonna call that as a Chris George experience win. Oh, free actions can be performed. So if you level up, you can always upgrade. So you don't have to wait until between campaigns. Love that. Consuming potions is fine. Using a portal scroll to pause the game and visit the town market. It's just Diablo. This is more Diablo than maybe Massive Darkness, but I do like the changes of Massive Darkness. Oh. Just throw some foraging in and I'm potentially in. Look, attack dice are white, yellow, red, and black. Got it. Great. No loss. Oh, a legend is lost when a hero has died 3 times. So there's no player elimination though. Shrines. Yeah, especially with the portal scrolls. Like, that's so Diablo. Hashtag, that's so Diablo. Active, reactive, curse skills. Yeah, the flow of this feels fun. Hero phase examples. Well, we'll get to it. Okay, monsters. What are the monsters all about? Health, defense, immunity, speed, their abilities, their basic action, special action, skill actions, name and attack range, effect, they roll the dice. When a monster dies, remove the figure, place a cadaver token in its place. Oh, that's just for the necromancer to raise them up. And then they drop a bunch of stuff. So you get XP, you get to draw cards, and then all other heroes gain half the XP. I like the flow of it. And not all monsters will activate every time, which I didn't like as much in Cthulhu Death May Die. But I feel with this, it feels like there are going to be lots of swarms, and so you'll be excited when that doesn't happen. Yeah, I really do like it. I think it's pretty solid as it is. And then you can get a big Heroes expansion, so just a bunch of different character classes, 4 of them. It's pretty cool, although it is pretty expensive for the hero expansion, because the hero expansion was what, $60 in the add-ons? Yeah, $65 for the hero expansion. I mean, I guess it's €10 per hero if you break it down like that. But then it's plus shipping. 65, I do love friggin' new heroes though. That would be tough. If I'm already spending 188, would I spend 240 on it? Probably not. That's really tough. I think this looks really good though. Again, because of it's just leaning into being Diablo the board game. Like, that is what it wants to be. It's like, hey, there's Diablo. Let's just take a lot of the mechanisms and go for there. Let's take the skill trees and see if we can apply them to a board game setting. And there's some fun line of sight, just smashing, looting a bit with the card draw. I don't know how much the loot's going to factor into play. Yeah, it does seem cool. What's your track record? What else have they funded it? Galaxy Postman. Interesting. Roll for the Great Old Ones. I remember that one as well. This seems way better than anything else that they've produced. Timeline and shipping estimates. They're expecting it to fulfill in December? On December 26th. You want it for Christmas? Screw you. Yeah, and then shipping estimates, Canada, 26 to 35 euro. Yeah, so it's another like $60 to get shipping. So this would be like 240 to get to me, or like 300 if I got the Heroes expansion. And while I do think it looks cool, if it were like 150, I would consider it. For 250, again, it's just gotten so expensive at this point. And I have things that do similar things. Like, I don't play Massive Darkness as much as I would like to, and I really love it. And so getting something like this would just make Massive Darkness fight for time, and I think I would always choose Massive Darkness over this. So it's not to say that this doesn't look good, but for me, I have my preference, and I don't think this is going to get more time. But if you are interested, it does look pretty solid, even though it's very expensive. That finishes on the 15th at 12 p.m. Moving along to Lord of the Rings, The Confrontation Ultimate Edition, which I don't think I'm going to get to right now. I just had time for that one little thing, but we're close. This is the last one, and then we'll finish up this video. Okay, and finally we have the Lord of the Rings, The Confrontation, the Ultimate Edition, another huge Ultimate Edition of a game that people haven't had for a while, that is sort of a take on Stratego. The classic board game designed by Rainer Knizia is one of the most critically acclaimed games, sure, I guess, set in the world of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. This Ultimate Edition of The Lord of the Rings: The Confrontation is the most comprehensive version yet. What's more, the Ultimate Collector's Edition version of the game, available below, may be the most amazing Lord of the Rings gaming artifact that the world has ever seen. If that isn't some hype, I don't know what is. Let's take a little look at this sure to be overpriced nonsense that you shouldn't be getting. But I mean, Lord of the Rings is cool. It's pretty fun. But you know what's fun? Watching the movies. So unnecessary. That's the silliest thing. But I mean, if you love the game, I'm sure you're freaking stoked about it. I'm surprised that so many people love the game this much. Or maybe we're just like so bought into our friggin' deluxeification all the time. Yeah, I don't know what more I was expecting in that video. Maybe how to play the game? Let's talk about what this game actually is. Back in 2002, over two decades later, they're like, wait a minute, we can make it all out of wood. Base and table legs sold separately, so you can just make it. I mean, that is cool, having it in the corner. Move over, Crokinole. We've got Lord of the Rings: The Confrontation. Fast-paced game, 2-player strategy game that captures the drama of the epic story in under 30 minutes. With hidden movement, asymmetrical powers, and clever bluffing, every match feels like a high-stakes duel. You're not Elijah Wood. It's easy to learn, deeply replayable, blah, blah, blah. Under 30 minutes, asymmetry, special cards change the game, variant characters, and draft play. New content. Well, of course, there has to be new content, or else people Wouldn't feel the FOMO. Okay, this is nice. At least there is a standard pledge. I was fully expecting there to not be a standard pledge here, but I guess they're just reprinting it. For $50 US, still feels pricey to me. Game board, the character stands, which are all sculpted and whatever. Then you have the premium pledge for $120 US, where you get a metal challenge coin, custom stands, hardcover rules compendium, everything I would never need. And then you have the collector's edition, the heirloom quality, that is a wooden game table. Strictly limited to 1,000 exclusive numbered copies. Wow, the collector FOMO is strong with this one. You notice how we're scrolling through and we still haven't hit the price? And you know we're scrolling through and then it's like, don't worry, there's stretch pay. They're doing everything they can. There's a sturdy wooden design. Oh, base leg and table sold separately. We still haven't hit the price yet. They're really showing it off. Listen, it's going to be a great thing. Your wooden box, everything is numbered. We still haven't hit the price. Yes, because it's $2,200. I need to come to you for a second. No, just don't. That's... Ugh. But if you are, how many people have backed for this? 137. 137 people are going for this $2,200. $3,000 US. I mean, Canadian. Oh my God. That's just so insane. I'm glad that it's 137 though. I'm glad that it isn't 1,000 people already. So at least I have some faith in some humanity, even if it's not 137. I'm so curious. Are you one of the 137? You must not be, because you can't possibly ever listen to me being frugal. Or maybe you are like the slippery gyms out there. This is just like the sticker shock makes me have zero interest in this game for the rest of my life. I don't care how good of a two-player game it is. It's just Stratego. You place all of your characters. You take turns secretly maneuvering characters across Middle Earth. Each character has a special ability, like defeat the flying Nazgul. Each turn a player must move a character forward one space. If the character enters an enemy-occupied space, a battle occurs. When the battle begins, characters are revealed. You choose a card in hand that both reveal simultaneously. Some cards can affect things. Others display a number, which adds to the character's strength. So you're adding in strength or different abilities. I think that battle system is going to be fun, for sure. Play until Frodo reaches Mordor, Frodo is defeated, or Sauron has 3 minions in the Shire. I think that it does sound cool. For $70, no. I would love to pick up a copy of this secondhand for $35, $40. I'd be interested in that. But I don't want to pay $70 and then plus shipping to get to Canada's an additional $30. Like, that's $100 Canadian for this game. Absolutely not anything I'm interested in. I don't think they have a rule book on the page, unless I missed that. But I think that's the game, right? Reiner Knizia's games are often incredibly rules light. Yeah, no rule book on the page, but I think that is the entire game. And there is not much more complication to that game. It is a tense battle of moving things forward, and absolutely sounds fun. But for the price just on the base edition, and then for the sticker shock on the Ultimate Edition, I know why it took me a week to build up to this, and it's just upsetting. But if you're interested, please tell me why you're doing this to yourself. Why? Just why? That finishes on the 15th at 12 p.m. I almost said 20:25 p.m., but that's not it. And that is it. That is it for the week. Now, every week I do a pick for me. See, I've settled in a location where there is no sun. The sun goes in a diagonal path across my room, so I've been running away from it, so it doesn't heat up my cameras or computers and make them explode. But every week I do a pick for me and a pick for you, the pick for me being the thing that I think is the most interesting mechanically, so if you gel with my tastes, perhaps you would gel with, and the pick for you being the thing I think if you got, you would regret the least. I think it would look to be a solid, decent game. But before I do that, I gotta go through and do a little grunt down to remind myself of what has come before. Oh yeah. No. Meh. Yeah. Absolutely not. Nah. Nah. Yeah. And bleh. War. More war. But meh. Yeah. Did I even look at this? Like, no. No. Meh. Meh. Yeah. Yeah. Meh. Nah. Meh. Yeah. And yeah. And meh. So actually a pretty good week. There, surprising a percentage of the week are things that look neat. I have a few options here and ones that I forget. So what is the pick for me? Am I just gonna do that because I like Ivy Studios? I don't know. That one did look good, but I think I gotta go with that one. That one sounded exciting. Pick for you. Pick for you is almost Hell Legends. It's close to being Hell Legends, but it's not. The pick for me is gonna be Loaf. I thought Loaf looked very fun. I really like that aspect of not wanting to do any work. I can really relate to that, and then needing to do work, or else bad things will happen. Can also relate to that. But I like that idea of bidding and holding onto your cards. It seems like a great little card game. Super cool. Loaf is sort of my pick, because again, I like those sort of unique games and the unique feeling of the games. Diceocracy was also up there as a pick for me, but I think I'm going to give it just the edging out to Loaf. And then I think the pick for you could have been Hell Legends if it wasn't so expensive. I mean, this one's also expensive, but I gotta give it to Realm of Reckoning. I think Realm of Reckoning is going to be good. I think that idea of bidding or choosing what is going to be bid on, but choosing what is going to be scored at the end of the game, I think that is going to hit in an interesting way. And then it's just resources, right? It's getting resources and spending resources in either a specific area or from your own personal supply and finding the balance of that. Yeah, 89. Yeah, Ivy stuff is so expensive all the time, but they make good stuff. So, and it's less expensive than Hell. And I think Diceocracy can't be the pick for you because people will be like, I don't like Sagrada. Blah. So if you like Sagrada, then it's pick for you. All right, so that's locked in. Loaf, pick for me. Realm of Reckoning, pick for you. And that is it. That is it. As always, thanks for being here. My name is Chris George. I do not have a catchphrase. Ooh, but I have to go back to the beginning and shout out some patrons who signed up in the interim of when I was filming this. But you already saw those. Culture Vulture and Pie Man. Thanks again. I appreciate it. Anyway, thanks so much, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later.